Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Raymore City Council regular meeting for Monday, February the 28th, 2022. I will call the meeting to order and ask for the roll call, please.
Councilmember Abdelgawad?
Here.
Councilmember Barber, absent. Councilmember Berenson?
Present.
Councilmember Burke?
Present.
Councilmember Circo?
Present.
Councilmember Holman?
Present.
Councilmember Townsend?
Present.
Councilmember Will Scherzer?
Present.
Mayor Turnbow?
Present. We have a quorum. Would you all please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have no presentations and awards this evening or personal appearances, so I'll move on to staff reports. Mr. Fearborn.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would ask Mr. Krass to make a staff report for Public Works.
Thank you, Mr. Fearborn, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. In addition to my written report, in the packet in front of you, you will find a notice from the American Public Works Association notifying the city that for the second time we have achieved accreditation through that agency. We join only 172 agencies across the country and 11 in Missouri that have gone through this process, and our accreditation will expire in July of 2025, so we get to do it all over again. We'll be working with Melissa Harmer to put out a press release in the next couple of days. So that concludes my staff report.
Excellent, Michael. Congratulations to you and your department. Anybody have any questions for Mr. Krass? All right. Mr. Fearborn.
Thank you, Mr. Krass. I would ask Mr. Mustine to make a report for Parks and Recreation.
Thanks, sir. Mayor, members of the council, I have an announcement to make as well as Mr. Krass here with the APWA. We submitted TV Hannah Station for one of the small city awards, and we were notified this past Friday that we did receive that award for the small structures, historical structures with the APWA. So as of today, we're automatically nominated for the national award level as well. So happy to announce that. And with that being said, part of my staff and I leave in the morning. Our Missouri State Conference is this week, and I happen to be leading a session on TV Hannah and the project itself, so I'll be able to announce that this week down at our state conference. One more thing just coming up is the craft show on March 12th at the Rack from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And right now we have about 36 vendors, so it looks like it's going to be a packed house and should be a good time. And that concludes my report. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Nathan, and congratulations to you and your planning leadership. We appreciate that. And to the project, good luck on the national application. Anybody have anything for? Nope. Okay. Thank you, Nathan. Mr. Fearborn.
Thank you, Mr. Mustine. I would ask Ms. Harmer to make a report for Communications.
Thank you, Mr. Fearborn. Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. You have a little flyer right next to you. I know generally you don't text during council meetings, but if you want to try out, just text hi to this number, 892-9737, or if you want to just test out any of these keywords here, our new smart texting service is available. It's going. I'm still waiting for our website provider to add the widget to our homepage on our Raymore.com website, but it's up and it's running, and we've had a couple people test it over the weekend, or actually really report. This morning we had a report of some potholes at about 9 a.m. and I forwarded the message to our Public Works Department. Obviously, you know how awesome they are. The potholes were filled by 11 a.m. and I was able to text that resident back that the problem was taken care of. So far so good. That's about all I have.
Thank you, Melissa. Anybody have anything for Melissa? While you were talking, I was going to try to do it, but you moved on too quickly there. All right. Mr. Fearborn, anything else?
Thank you, Ms. Harmer. I would ask Mr. Eppert to make a report on the comprehensive plan.
Thanks, sir. Good evening, Mayor and members of the council. Just wanted to highlight a couple things over the last time I gave an update was January 24th, and so between now and then, the two big things to highlight was that we have shored up kind of our land use, our future land use plan, and that's going to drive the rest of this comprehensive plan. Staff has come up with an outline of the overall comprehensive plan, which will allow us to be able to kind of plug and play with the departments to make sure that we have an overall document that's pliable and makes sense. Coming up, we're going to be doing some meetings with Public Works. Everything, if you noticed on the Gantt chart, some things have moved or shifted a little bit to the right as Public Works is kind of the key to our land use plan, and so if there's anything that needs to be changed, now's the time. And so we felt that it was necessary to kind of move that a little bit timing-wise to just make sure that Public Works and Development Services is synced up. One other thing to highlight is I've made a change. April 19th is going to be the tentative date for a work session with Planning Commission to go over the future land use map and just make sure that we're on the right path, as that's their overall guiding document. And then my next update will be March 28th, and that concludes staff report.
Thank you, Dylan. Anybody have any questions? Dylan? Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Fearborn?
Thank you, Mr. Eppert. Just a couple of final items for the council for staff reports. Staff would request that item F under new business be removed from your agenda. That is the fourth item associated with the Brookside land transfer. We want to get the HOA to sign off on that prior to the council, as we do with most of the agenda items. So we are requesting that that item be removed. It will take no action from the council because no motion has been made against it. Second item would be, we put in front of you a couple of different pages besides the APWA announcement of award. We also put in front of you this evening that Moody's has once again reassigned a AA2 rating for our upcoming bond refunding, which is in front of the council this evening. Mr. Goffey will be here to present on that tonight. Thought it might be helpful to you all to highlight on the piece of paper their reasoning for assigning that AA2 rating to the city. As you can see, healthy operating reserves, growing tax base, solid resident income, healthy liquidity, conservative financial management, which help to mitigate what are obviously in this day and age some pretty volatile sales tax numbers that have been in front of the city for the last couple of years. Manageable fixed costs, above average debt, which we already knew is a contributor to that, but that comes with a growing city of our size because we're overlapping with a school district that is highly successful. The second item that is in front of you besides the APWA is, as the council is aware, each year we submit for two different awards to the Government Finance Officers Association. One, which we have received since 2004, is the Excellence in Budgeting Award. The other one is directly associated with our audit. And we have once again this year, Ms. Williams and her office, working with our auditors, have received the Certificate of Achievement in Excellence for Financial Reporting. So congratulations to them. This is a lot of hard work on the part of every person in that office. So we're very, very proud of them. Last item for you all this evening. Next Monday, March 7th, would normally be a work session. We only have one item on for that evening, and it is to go into executive session to discuss land acquisition matters. So instead of a work session, we will call a special meeting. The mayor has agreed to that. It'll be a special meeting with roll call just to go into executive session. There'll be no discussion at the open meeting. That concludes staff reports this evening, sir.
Thank you, Jim. Any questions of Mr. Fearborn? A lot of great work from all the staff, and we really do appreciate it. Some great reports tonight that really reflect well on our community and the city. We appreciate that hard work. So we'll now move on to the consent agenda. I think we have two items under the consent agenda this evening. I'd entertain a motion to dispose of those items.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Townsend.
Move that we approve consent agenda item A, City Council minutes for February 14th, 2022, and item B, Herald Estates Gravity Sewer Project acceptance and final payment.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Yes, sir. I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Holman. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 7-0. Thank you. We'll now move on to unfinished business. Could I please have the second reading of Bill 3684 by title only?
The second reading of Bill 3684 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, amending the zoning map from M1 Light Industrial District to R3A Multiple Family Residential District, a 9.94 acre tract of land located south of Dawn Street, east of Sunrise Drive in Raymore, Cass County, Missouri.
Thank you. I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Townsend.
move that we approve the second reading of Bill 3684, reclassification and zoning Grube property M1 to R3A.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Holman. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the second reading of Bill 3684. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 7-0. Could I please have the second reading of Bill 3685 by title only?
The second reading of Bill 3685 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, approving the Sendera First Plat.
Thank you. If there aren't any questions, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Townsend.
move that we approve the second reading of Bill 3685, the Sendera First Plat.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Holman. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the second reading of Bill 3685. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 7-0. Could I please have the second reading of Bill 3686 by title only?
The second reading of Bill 3686 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, approving the Sendera Second Plat.
Thank you. And if there are no further questions, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Townsend?
move that we approve the second reading of Bill 3686, Sendera Second Plat.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
I will second the motion, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Holman. Motion been made and seconded to approve the second reading of Bill 3686. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 7-0. Could I please have the second reading of Bill 3687 by title only?
The second reading of Bill 3687 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, amending Section 605.010 of the Raymore City Code of Ordinances.
Thank you. If there's no further questions on this, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Townsend.
move that approve the second reading of Bill 3687, amending City Code Section 605.010, annual license required.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
I will second the motion, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Holman. Motion been made and seconded to approve the second reading of Bill 3687. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 7-0. By the way, I was able to talk to the golf cart people out at the golf show on Friday, and they said that they may actually, because they're selling so many carts out here in Creekmore, they may once a year bring like a maintenance tent out to the clubhouse so people can run their carts through for inspection, which I thought was kind of cool. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. He says us, where was the other one? Lake Quivira, and it was another lake community, were the three largest sellers of golf carts in the area. And they actually have a Creekmore package that they sell on their carts there. It was kind of funny. All right, getting back to business here. Can I please have the second reading of Bill 3690 by title only?
The second reading of Bill 3690 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Play Power LT Farmington, Inc. for the construction of the Hawk's Nest and all-inclusive playground at Hawk Ridge Park.
Thank you. If there are no further questions, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Townsend.
move that we approve the second reading of Bill 3690, Play Power Contract and Award, Hawk's Nest All-Inclusive Playground.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
I will absolutely second that motion, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Holman. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the second reading of Bill 3690. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 7-0. Could I please have the second reading of Bill 3691 by title only?
The second reading of Bill 3691 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, authorizing an amendment to Park Fund 25 for the Hawks Nest All-Inclusive Playground.
Thanks. If there's no further questions, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Townsend.
I move that we approve the second reading of Bill 3691, Budget Amendment, Hawk Nest Park All-Inclusive Playground.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Holman. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the second reading of Bill 3691. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 7-0. Could I please have the second reading of Bill 3692 by title only?
The second reading of Bill 3692 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Blue Cedar Landscape for landscaping services at Centerview.
Thank you. If there are no further questions, I entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Townsend.
I move that we approve the second reading of Bill 3692, award of contract Blue Cedar Landscape Incorporated.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Holman. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the second reading of Bill 3692. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 7-0. Could I please have the second reading of Bill 3688 by title only?
The second reading of Bill 3688 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, appointing Kapke and Willerth LLC as the city attorney and special prosecutor and authorizing the execution of a contract for services.
Did I pause for effect at all on that one? I know it wasn't very long. Sorry about that. If there are no further questions, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Townsend.
I move that we approve Bill 3688, award of contract City Attorney.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Yes, sir. I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Holman. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the second reading of Bill 3688. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 7-0. Could I please have the second reading of Bill 3689 by title only?
The second reading of Bill 3689 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, appointing William N. Marshall III as the city prosecutor and authorizing the execution of a contract for services.
Thank you. If there are no further questions, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Townsend.
I move that we approve Bill 3689, award of contract City Prosecutor.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Yes, sir. I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Holman. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the second reading of Bill 3689. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 7-0. We'll now move on to new business. Could I please have the first reading of Bill 3693 by title only?
The first reading of Bill 3693 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Geotechnology, Inc. to provide on-call materials testing services.
Thank you. Is there a staff report?
Thank you, Your Honor. I would ask Mr. Krass to make a staff report on this agenda item.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Fearborn, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. Staff is requesting approval of a contract with Geotechnologies for material testing. What this is a quality assurance for our capital improvement projects. It involves mostly concrete testing and asphalt testing to make sure the materials incorporated into the projects meet our specifications. That concludes my staff report.
Thank you, sir. Any questions of staff? Yes, Mr. Townsend.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Furber, I just had a quick question, or whoever can answer. I didn't see, normally we see for contracts a funding source. Is this contract part of the normal budget for Public Works?
Because it's on-call testing services, it could be across a gamut of either capital funds or the operating funds, sir.
Okay, okay. And then secondly, if I could, RFPs, I didn't see a list of applicants. Was this a sole source or?
Mr. Krass.
I apologize. I noticed that was omitted. I will update the agenda memo for the second reading.
Excellent. Thank you.
Anyone else? If there's nothing further, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Townsend.
move that we approve the first reading of Bill 3693, on-call material testing services.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion, sir.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Holman, there's been a first and a second to approve the first reading of Bill 3693. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 7-0. Could I please have the first reading of Bill 3694 by title only?
The first reading of Bill 3694 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Wilson and Company for the Dean Avenue North Cass Parkway Traffic Signal Design Intersection Improvements Project, City Project Number 22-389-301, in the amount of $109,830.50, and authorizing the city manager to approve change orders within established budget constraints.
Thank you. Is there a staff report?
Thank you, sir. I would ask Mr. Krass to make a staff report on this agenda item.
Thank you, Mr. Fearborn, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. What you have before you this evening is a design contract with Wilson Company. The contract will involve design of a traffic signal, determining traffic signal timing based on the anticipated traffic from the Raymore Commerce Center, coordinating with MoDOT and Operation Greenlight to integrate the signals at this signal with the signals on the ramp, and some reconfiguration of the Dean Avenue North Cass Parkway intersection. We'll be putting in a right turn lane for southbound Dean Avenue, and then the southwest quadrant of the intersection, we need to do a little bit of work there to make sure that the anticipated truck traffic can make the turn into the complex. That completes staff report.
Thank you, sir. Any questions of staff? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Townsend,
move that we approve the first reading of Bill 3694, Dean Avenue North Cass intersection improvements.
thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Holman. Motion been made and seconded to approve the first reading of Bill 3694. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 7-0. Could I please have the first reading of Bill 3695 by title only?
The first reading of Bill 3695 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, approving the Brookside 10th final plat, replat of Tract Y.
Thank you. Just to let you know, Mr. Fearborn and I spoke earlier with Mr. Carteret, and the next three items on the agenda will fall under the staff report that's to be given just now, so I'll ask for that staff report.
Thank you, Your Honor. It is with a bittersweet heart that I call on Mr. Carteret for the final time for the City of Raymore to make a staff report on this agenda item.
Thank you, sir. So with that said, I'll just take my time going through this one final staff report.
All right.
Since he took three
Mr.
away.
Grass.
A little bit of history is in order to get to
Sure.
what we're asking for tonight. The Brookside 10th final plat, which included the extension of Cedar Ridge Drive south out of Cedar Ridge subdivision. It included the extension of Bristol Drive across the creek to connect Brookside subdivision with Saddlebrook subdivision. It was actually approved back like 2007, just sat dormant until 2017 timeframe. Part of that initial Brookside 10 plat was the creation of Tract Y, which was dedicated to the city for use as what at the time was planned for to be a future playground area, practice field area. That decision was made, like I said, some 10 years ago by the park board. When the lots were actually created with the Brookside 10 subdivision, you were able to get a little bit better sense for what Tract Y really encompassed as far as land area. And quite a bit of the land area was actually in the floodplain along the stream corridor. So when the subdivision, the homes started getting built, the Parks Department and Park Board looked at that land and felt that it really wasn't appropriate any longer for a practice field area. Started thinking about, well, what use could we have for that land area? And the thought was it would make a good, perhaps a good trailhead area for the trail that would be going through. Problem is that that land was on the west side of the creek and the trail for Brookside's on the east side. So we approached the developer, Brookside Builders. They had another common area tract on the east side of the creek, and brought forward to City Council in 2020 an amendment to the development agreement that talked about changes on the parkland dedication. If Brookside Builders agreed to build the parking lot, which they have done, and it's an 11-stall parking lot, and they agreed to extend the Brookside Trail to the parking lot. Prior to the parking lot, the trail just ended. It didn't even make it to Bristol Drive. So they extended the trail to the parking lot. They also agreed to make amenities, to bring amenities to the parking lot, including a drinking fountain, a park bench. There'll be a bike repair station there, and there were some other sidewalk improvements to be made. In lieu of that, the city agreed then to transfer Track Y back to Brookside Builders. We really didn't have a use for that Track Y anymore, just wanted it left as common area space. So we felt we were getting all the improvements to the trailhead parking lot. In return, Brookside takes over Track Y. Part of Brookside taking that back was to create a lot at the very end of the cul-de-sac, which is lot 422. That's actually the location where the parking spaces were going to be. So that made sense to finish out the homes around the cul-de-sac. So a previous plat created lot 422, leaving Tract Y still to be left as common area. The city still owns lot 422. We still own Tract Y. We were then approached by the Brookside Homeowners Association. They were interested in a piece of Tract Y just to have control over it for maintenance purposes like they do for their other common area. So Brookside Builders had the replat done. That's part of the bill that's in front of you, dividing Tract Y and creating this new Tract AA. The intent of AA is that would be maintained by the Brookside Homes Association just as common space. Tract Y would then be left for the Brookside Builders, and it would just be common area left. Again, it's not buildable area. Most of it's in floodplain and tree covered. So the plat before you for this bill simply takes that Tract Y and creates Tract AA. Lot 422 already exists. The next item on the agenda would actually then be the city's agreement to transfer this lot 422 to Brookside Builders, and then they would have a buildable lot and plan on building a home on that. The following item on the agenda, which is Bill 3697, would then transfer that Track Y back to Brookside Builders, again, just to be left as common area. The item that was removed from the agenda was a bill to transfer Tract AA to the Homes Association. We've had discussions with the HOA for a couple of years now. They're actually having their annual meeting tomorrow, and we wanted to defer action on that to ensure that their residents were all in agreement on taking over the maintenance of this Tract AA. So that will come back at a future agenda for your consideration. So I believe that sums up the activity. Hopefully I didn't muddy the waters. Certainly available for questions.
Thank you, Jim. Any questions of Mr. Carteret? Yes, Mr. Burke.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Question about the Cedar Ridge Drive here. Are the houses on this section in Brookside, or are they in Cedar Ridge?
They're all within the Brookside subdivision. So anything they built as Brookside 10 is part of the Brookside Homeowners Association. The builders no longer control that association. It's controlled by residents now.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, thank you, Jim. If there's no further questions of staff, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Townsend,
move that we approve first reading of Bill 3695, Brookside 10th Final Plat, replat of Track Y.
thank you. Is there a second?
Yes, sir. I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Ullman. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the first reading of Bill 3695. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 7-0. Could I please have the first reading of Bill 3696 by title only?
The first reading of Bill 3696 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to execute a quitclaim deed to Brookside Builders LLC for Lot 422, Brookside 10th Final Plat, a replat of Tract X and Tract Y.
Thank you. Given that we've received a staff report on this, unless there's any further questions, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Townsend.
move that we approve the first reading of Bill 3696, transfer of Plat 422 and Brookside 10th Plat to Brookside Builders LLC.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Holman. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the first reading of Bill 3696. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 7-0. Could I please have the first reading of Bill 3697 by title only?
The first reading of Bill 3697 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to execute a quitclaim deed to Brookside Builders LLC for Tract Y, Brookside 10th Final Plat, and replat of Tract Y.
Given that we've heard the staff report on the previous two items, I would go ahead and entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Townsend.
move that we approve the first reading of Bill 3697, transfer of Tract Y to Brookside Builders LLC.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Yes, sir, I'll second the
Thank you,
motion.
Mr. Holman. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the first reading of Bill 3697. Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 7-0. We have removed item F from the agenda. We'll move on to item G. Could I please have the first reading of Bill 3699 by title only?
The first reading of Bill 3699 by title only, an ordinance authorizing the issuance of the City of Raymore, Missouri General Obligation Refunding Bonds, Series 2022, and authorizing certain other documents and actions by the city.
Thank you. Is there a staff report?
Thank you, sir. I would ask Mr. Todd Goffey, Special Finance Advisor to the city, to make staff report on this item.
Thank you, Mr. Fearborn. Good evening, Mayor. With me tonight is my colleague Hannah Snyder. I'm going to be out of town in 2 weeks, and so she will be here in my place that evening, so I wanted you to know who she was and have a familiar face. We spoke earlier this month about the possibility of refinancing the Series 2012 General Obligation Bonds. So this is a continuation of that. As Mr. Fearborn indicated and distributed, we did get the bond rating assigned last week, so congratulations on that. Obviously, I won't repeat the comments that he had mentioned, but those are some very nice comments coming from outside the organization, outside the area. When bond investors and bond underwriters look to purchase your bonds, they look at the bond rating report, which is very important, as well as they look at your comprehensive annual financial report. So again, with getting the award from GFOA is really, really, really good. And those reports are very comprehensive, as it says, but there's a lot of work that goes in. So that makes Raymore show very, very well in the capital markets as you get ready to move forward on this. Assuming you approve this tonight, our next step would be to disseminate the notice of the bond sale as well as the bond prospectus. We're prepared to do that tomorrow, and then that'll set us up for a competitive bond sale the morning of March 14th, so in 2 weeks. As we all know, the capital markets are kind of in a state of flux. Between the stock market and the bond market, a lot of ups and downs, even before the Ukraine-Russia situation, but even more so now. So there is some kind of headline risk, but we do believe that rates are still very low compared to what they've been. Earlier this month, we talked about a savings threshold of around 250, 260,000. We think today that might be 240,000. So it's still north of 200,000. We think that's good. We're looking at an estimated rate of probably around today about a 1.6%. So I'll pause there and see what questions you might have.
Sure. Thank you, Tom. Anyone have any questions of Mr. Goffey? Yes, Mr. Townsend.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Excellent report, excellent update. Just curious, if the markets continue to do what they're doing and they're in flux in these couple of weeks, and it's below what we consider to be beneficial, are we still committed to going to market?
You're not committed, and what we will do is if the savings continue to drop, probably below a $200,000 threshold, we'll reach out to Mr. Fearborn, make sure he's aware of what the situation is, and we would have the ability to postpone the bond sale and not follow through with that on March 14th. That's path number one. Path number two is that we think everything is fine, and we go ahead and go through with the bond sale on the morning of the 14th, and maybe something happens that morning and the results come in and it's not what we want. We still have the ability at that point to just say, we're not going to accept this, we're going to postpone. We'd prefer not to do that. We'd rather cancel it before it actually happens. But ultimately, sir, it's not approved until we would come back the evening of the 14th and have approval of the council at that point.
Okay, thank you.
The magic number that GFOA kind of puts up as the standard, the threshold standard, is 3%. And in fact, when Mr. Goffey walked into the chambers tonight, I immediately went up to him and said, since we talked on Thursday, just 2 days ago, where are we at? And pretty stable the last couple of days, but there's a lot going on in the world right now.
Yes.
So he would be letting me know if we drop below that 3%.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Anyone else? Is there a need for us to do an emergency read tonight so that we can move forward with the process, or is the next available meeting soon enough if the sale is the next following day?
Well, the sale is actually going to take place before the next meeting.
Okay.
This is what we call a parameters ordinance. You're giving us the okay to go ahead with the sale, and then when they return in 2 weeks to report out to the council, it's with all of the final numbers in place and all of the final schedules filled out. The schedules you have in your packet right now are estimated.
All right. Thank you for that. Anyone else? Thanks, Mr. Goffey. Appreciate it. There's no further questions of staff. I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Townsend.
move that we approve the first reading of Bill 3699, General Obligation Refunding Bond, Series 2022.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Yes, sir. I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Holman. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the first reading of Bill 3699. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 7-0.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Holman.
I need to announce that I'll be recusing myself on the next item, item H on the original agenda, as Honeywell FM&T is my current employer, and I will be recusing myself just to eliminate even the possible perception of impropriety on this, sir.
Thank you,
I'll
Mr.
be
Holman.
rejoining the council after this item is decided.
All right. Thank you much. Appreciate that. Could I please have the first reading of Bill 3700 by title only?
The first reading of Bill 3700 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to enter into a memorandum of understanding with Honeywell FM&T for the use of the Raymore firing range and declaring this as an emergency reading.
Thank you. Is there a staff report?
Thank you, Your Honor. I would ask Mr. Zer to make a staff report on this item.
Thank you, Mr. Fearborn, Mayor, members of the council. I'm happy to provide the staff report this evening on this item. Before I dive into it, I also want to thank the council for considering to trust our firm and myself to be able to come down and provide legal counsel. It's been a continuing honor. This evening you have before you under an emergency reading the proposed Memorandum of Understanding between Honeywell FM&T and the City of Raymore regarding the use of the gun range maintained by the City of Raymore. FM&T, the protective force that provides services to Honeywell, has recently lost the location that they have previously been using for purposes of qualification for their firearms training, and has approached the city in order to be able to utilize our location. I had the opportunity to to work with their General Counsel Rico Reyes on a number of occasions, and we were able to work out the arrangements for this Memorandum of Understanding, which you have before you this evening. Memorandum will basically allow for utilization and coordination between the City of Raymore Police Department and representatives of Honeywell over the use of that gun range. It's been identified this evening as an emergency because of the requirements by Honeywell FM&T's protective force to be able to qualify for their gun requirements on a quick basis and a quick turnaround time. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have regarding the MOU or the utilization of the gun range. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any questions of Mr. Zur? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Townsend.
I just wanted Mr. Holman to sweat. I move that we approve the first reading of Bill 3700, Memorandum of Understanding, Honeywell FM&T, Use of Gun Range, Emergency Reading.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Emergency reading.
Yes, sir, I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Burke. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the first reading of Bill 3700. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 6-0. Since this is an emergency read, I would ask for the second reading of Bill 3700 in its entirety.
The second reading of Bill 3700 in its entirety. An ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to enter into a memorandum of understanding with Honeywell FM&T for the use of the Raymore firing range and declaring this as an emergency reading. Whereas the City of Raymore maintains a high quality firing range for its police department, and whereas Honeywell FM&T has a protective force that currently has no firing range for officer qualifications, and whereas Honeywell FM&T has requested to utilize the Raymore firing range under Raymore supervision, and whereas a memorandum of understanding is appropriate to memorialize this relationship. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the City of Raymore, Missouri as follows. Section 1, the mayor is hereby authorized to enter into a memorandum of understanding attached with Honeywell FM&T. Section 2, the chief of police or their designee are hereby authorized to fulfill the elements of the memorandum of understanding hereto as Exhibit A for and on behalf of the City of Raymore. Section 3, effective date. The effective date of approval of this ordinance shall be coincidental with the mayor's signature and attestation by the city clerk. Section 4, severability. If any section, subsection, sentence, clause, phrase, or portion of this ordinance is for any reason held invalid or unconstitutional by any court of competent jurisdiction, such portion shall be deemed a separate, distinct, and independent provision, and such holding shall not affect the validity of the remaining portions thereof. Section 5, emergency reading. Due to the qualification deadline constraints placed on the Honeywell FM&T protective force, the mayor has authorized this as an emergency reading. Duly read the first time this 28th day of February 2022. Be it remembered that the above ordinance was approved and adopted this 28th day of February 2022 by the following vote.
Thank you, ma'am. Unless there's further questions, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Townsend.
move that we approve the second reading of Bill 3700, Memorandum of Understanding, Honeywell FM&T, Use of Gun Range.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Yes, sir, I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Burke. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the second reading of Bill 3700. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 6-0. That concludes new business. We'll now move on to public comments. If anyone from the public would like to address the council at this time, please step forward to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and try to keep your comments to 5 minutes or less. Seeing no one come forward, we'll move on to mayor council communication, and I'll start on my far left over here tonight. Mr. Townsend.
Thank you, sir. Other than, I'll keep them short tonight, outstanding report by staff and the awards and accolades. Again, it speaks to the level of professionalism and support you give to the community. Mr. Cataract, we're sorry to see you go. I know it's bittersweet. I know it's some good things that are waiting for you, but your legacy that you live in the city is evident by the community, how it's laid out, how things are built out, and that's just, again, a tangible evidence to your support that you've given to the city and the residents here. And I appreciate what you've done. Look forward to the great things we see in Mr. Gress coming on board and to fill those shoes. It's a lot to do, but have every confidence as he stepped into the role as the Economic Development Director and now into the Community Development Director role is outstanding. So again, speaks to the quality of the staff that we have in-house that we're able to promote in-house. And that's, again, excellent. And your leadership in preparing him for that role is not lost on me. So again, thank you again, and best to you and your family. Thank you,
Thank you, sir. Ms. Wills-Scherzer.
Thank you, sir. I also just wanted to say congratulations to Mr. Mustine and the staff on the national nomination for TB Hanna. And I also wanted to tell Mr. Carteret that he will be greatly missed, and we wish him the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Circo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I'd like to touch on the Mr. Kraft. Thank you. Congratulations on your award there. Mr. Carteret, of course, we will miss you, and I think if you have some extra moments from up north, you can always zoom back and forth for 5 or 6 months to help out if you need to. Help Mr. Gress as he goes forward. Mr. Mustine, National Award. You're just doing what you always do. You're moving the city with the parks and the recs, going in the right direction, and you're going to make a lot of people happy. You guys are getting a good job done. Everybody does in the city. Mr. Fearborn, on your AA2. I mean, again, you and your staff have done a phenomenal job. We're competing as close to the big cities as we can without being there, and that's still a big plus for us, and we thank you for that. Mr. Zur, welcome aboard again for another few years here. We appreciate that. Melissa, I did text you right away. I said hello. I hope you got that. Good. It seems to work. And just want to say congratulations to all. Mr. Gress, we're looking for you to try to step in some big shoes. And this man here, what I've talked to Drayton and the morning or the afternoon, we're saying he's like a human robot. He's a calculator. I mean, he knows everything in his head. You just ask him a question, he already knows the answer. You're just that kind of man. You got it all done. So again, we would be heavily missed. But family comes, and when we talked earlier, when that brass ring comes, just like Mr. Dale did, not expecting it, you think you got time, next thing you know, an unopportune time, it pops up and you have to make a quick decision. But you know, family's family. Your future, your family is so important, and we thank you for all you've done. Good luck.
Mr. Burke.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just real quickly, even though I don't know anyone in the Ukraine, my heart goes out to them, and hopefully it'll be put to rest soon. But I really wanted to talk to Mr. Carteret. I think I've worked with you maybe since 2013, if I've got it correctly. And I've learned a lot of, most of the stuff that I need to do this job I've learned from you. Either by reading your reports and then asking questions to clarify. For instance, tonight with the multiple tracks, you summed it up in a short time, even though some people don't like to say you're short. But it was very, very easy to understand for me. Even though I had read it, I still was looking at it. I kept going back and forth and looking at maps, and your explanation, once again, of course, was right on. But I do appreciate all the teaching that you've done. I, as a teacher, especially appreciate that. But also as a teacher, I've seen a lot of people in my profession come and go, and I'm always happy for someone that's moving on to the next part of their life. And I'm excited for you, and hopefully they don't miss you at the library too much during lunch. But I'm sure you will go on to do some excellent things for your family. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Mr. Berenson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think everybody covered everything I had on here, so I'll just agree with everybody else and add also, Mr. Carteret, thank you for everything. Have enjoyed working with you both on planning and zoning and up here as well. Wish you the best in your future endeavors, sir.
Ms. Abdelgawad.
Thank you, sir. I don't know, Mr. Fearborn, if you had out like your checklist for the awards that the city got last week, but one that wasn't mentioned this evening was Officer Hornbeck from the police department was awarded the CIT Officer of the Year award, and I believe that makes 3 years that our Raymore officers have gotten that CIT Officer of the Year award. And so taking a minute to brag on PD and adding that to our list, does that mean every department got an award last week?
It felt like it.
That's incredible. So kudos to our staff from top to bottom. I know nobody does that work alone. It takes the whole team to be recognized for things like that. And so just adding to that recognition from this board, you've heard it from everybody, not just me.
And with her, we're actually going to be bringing her in front of the council for that
Excellent.
recognition in 2 weeks during the PD report, because it's an outstanding program, and we want to be able to share that story because it's
a
an
great
important
story.
one.
Yeah. Excellent. I'll be looking forward to hearing that story again. And then just echoing thank you to Mr. Cataract for all the work you've done for the city, and definitely made an impact here, and you will be greatly missed. So, thank you.
Mr. Ullman.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd kind of like to divide my comments into 2 segments tonight. The first would be kudos. Good job, Councilman Townsend. You got me pretty good. I didn't have the rag to wipe the sweat off, but I was close. I was like, hope this doesn't die for lack of motion. This is going to be bad. Sir, we continue to get the job done here because of the extended team. Not just the people up here, but the wonderful staff we have and the extended team, Mr. Goffey, Mr. Zur, and all our bond counsel, everybody across the board. Really, this truly is a great city, and it gets better every day. And we see evidence of that when we come up here every 2 weeks, if not more often. I concur with all the comments. Stay up here all night and say that. Stuff that's a little bit more reflective. Start off with the first one that may have kind of been overlooked by many. I'm sure you know this, Mayor. Carl Gum passed away here in the past 2 weeks, and Judge Gum was a longtime attorney within the area. I believe he was prosecutor, and then a longtime judge down at the Cass County Court. I think he's one of the few judges of recent note that wasn't our municipal judge before he went down there. But always found Judge Gum to be a very sharp individual, very thoughtful. Had to present warrant applications to him a couple of times, and in addition to that, he was kind of a fun human being to be around, and I was sad to see his passing this week. I wanted to mention that. Mr. Cataract, I've got to say, say it ain't so, sir. Just say it ain't so. Who is going to lower my chair to make me look shorter before all of the council meetings? I know Councilman Barber is going to miss that as well. For those of you that don't know, when I started with planning and zoning in 2005, my first staff contact around here was Mr. Cataract. He was my first mentor, my first teacher, taught me a ton in about 6.5 years on planning and zoning, where I would probably still be today if I had not got redistricted off in 2010. Spent a couple of years with Sonia on planning and zoning, and then ended up here. I'm sorry, Parks and Rec. My bad, Sonia. My bad. But he was the start of it all for me. A great teacher, and like Tom said, an encyclopedia of knowledge. I had people call and say, "I don't know the answer, but call Jim Cataract, because I can tell you, I can guarantee you, he does." And he's one of the most fantastic men I've ever known. We are sorry to see you go, but we wish you the best, and I know that's you're going to pursue your path as you need to. You are always welcome back here, sir. Always welcome back. That's all I have, sir.
Thank you, sir. And great remarks tonight. I don't know if I can add anything to anything that has been said with regard to the staff and the accolades that have come to the city recently. My remarks tonight are for Mr. Cataract. We worked together since your start here at the city, and had a long history of a great friendship, a work colleague. Always respected you so much, Jim, for the work that you provided the city. It was always in the best interest of the citizens here. There was never any selfishness on your part or any seeking any kind of accolades or anything. It was always what's best for the city, and your planning efforts have certainly have a fingerprint in a lot of different parts of this community, and they'll be there for a long time. You've left a wonderful legacy as you move on to another time in your life, and I just want to say thank you so much for your friendship, for your contributions to this community, and have fun with those grandbabies. All right. Thank you. That's all I have this evening. I don't think we have a reason to go to executive session.
No, Your Honor.
All right. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Mayor, before that, I failed to mention, next week I will not be able to attend the special meeting now, I believe it's what's going to be. I'll be out of town at that time, so I'll mess up my attendance rate. So I just wanted to let the council know.
All right, sir. Well, thank you for that notice.
And with that, I motion that we adjourn from the regular city council meeting for February the 28th.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Yes, sir, I'll second the motion.
Motion been made and seconded for adjournment. All those in favor? Motion carries. We are adjourned.